So that is one way that we can do it virtually and still make it work. And then there is the good old face-to-face. Now, does that work? I don't know. Let's see. Hey, Rick, do me a favor. Would you, or what's your name?
Rob.
Rob. Would you maybe hand me that mic stand up here? I just need a pole to do this. You see that shuttle bus? I got a story. So here's the story. This isn't live, is it? Okay, good. I was in Kansas City to be exact, and I was teaching a course, and it was a Friday night, and I wanted to go home to Cleveland, Ohio. Well, there was one flight that I could get on that took me Kansas City to Chicago O'Hare on a Friday night, catching the last flight out of Chicago O'Hare to Cleveland, Ohio at 10:30 p.m. Now, anybody in their right mind knows better than to book the last flight on a Friday night out of Chicago O'Hare. But you know what? With the life I live, and I've been doing this for 13 years on the road now, if this man is not with me, I am like a golden retriever. Tie a bell around my neck and send me across the Rockies. I just want to go home. And I will try anything to get there. So I book those flights, and I know darn well in my heart of hearts that I probably stand a 50% chance of not getting home that night, but doggone it, I'm trying. So I get to the airport at like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night in Kansas City, and I get up to the ticket desk, and the lady says to me, "Oh, Mrs. Leavenworth, there's a lot of weather moving into Chicago O'Hare. We're not going to be able to let your plane take off in time. So you are going to miss your connection. You're going to either need to stay here or in Chicago tonight. I think we can get you to Chicago, but we won't get you to Cleveland." And I said, "Okay." She said, "So you will have to get a hotel. What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I think I want to go to Chicago." I said, "Because at least that way I know I have a gazillion flights tomorrow to get home direct. So I'll go to Chicago tonight and I'll get a room there." She said, "And you do know that we don't pay for hotel rooms when it's an act of God, right?" I said, "Right, I got that." So she said, "But we do have the pink voucher system." She said, "Now the pink voucher system is a system where we have a pink voucher and there are hotels listed on the back, and you are guaranteed to get the lowest price for a hotel in Chicago O'Hare with a free shuttle service back and forth to the airport. You'll pick up your luggage, go stay all night, come back, free shuttle service, here you go." She gives me the pink voucher system, or ticket. So I take it back to my seat and I look on the back, and here's my brand of hotel on the back. So I called that particular one. I said, "This is Mrs. Leavenworth, and I'm a Gold Elite with your establishment, and I'm going to get stranded in Chicago O'Hare tonight. Do you have a room for me?" She said, "Oh, Mrs. Leavenworth, we certainly do. And it'll be X number of dollars." I said, "Well, I have a pink voucher here that was issued to me by the airlines. And with the pink voucher, I am guaranteed to get the lowest price possible on your hotel with a free shuttle service back and forth to the airport, right?" She goes, "Oh, the pink voucher." She said, "Of course." She said, "Now, you can't book a room under the pink voucher with us, but if you call the pink voucher company, they will book the room for you." Okay, fine. So now I call the pink voucher company. And I called them and I said, "Here's my story, you know, I'm getting stranded in Chicago O'Hare, da-da-da." She said, "Oh, Mrs. Leavenworth, we've got a roadway in for you for $42 tonight with a free shuttle service." I said, "Oh, not so much." She said, "Well, we've got a Super 8 for like $52. I said, "Oh, could you get me in this brand, in this particular brand?" She said, "Well, we do." And she had the top of the line of my brand. She said, "We have this room for $59 tonight." I said, "With the shuttle back and forth from the airport?" "Yes, ma'am." "I'll take it." She gives me a confirmation number. I write it down. She said, "Now don't be without your pink voucher or confirmation number, or they will not give you that room for this price. So make sure you have that." Got that. So I get to the airport, it's like midnight, I get my baggage, I go outside at Chicago O'Hare. It is pouring down rain. I mean, it is pouring down rain. Now I have got 2 black roller suitcases that I'm pulling. I've got a black backpack on my back. I've got a black raincoat that for most women would come to their knees, but for me it comes to my ankles. I have got the hood up with a black backpack on. I look like a little ninja. And I'm going through the pouring down rain, and the water that would be up to your ankles is about up to my mid-calf. And I'm just going through the water puddles, and the bus stop for this shuttle is about a quarter of a mile from baggage claim. So I walk through all the water, all through the lightning and the storm and the rain and the everything else, and I get there and I'm feeling like one of the most blessed women in the entire world because the shuttle bus showed up within 5 minutes. So I get on the shuttle bus. It is filled, totally filled. I'm the last person to take a seat, and I'm right behind the driver. We are 1 minute on the road when the little walkie-talkie system comes on. And it's the manager of the hotel who says to his driver, stop and see if you've got anyone with a pink voucher, because if you do, you've got to let them off. We don't have any more rooms for them. Now I'm in the seat behind the driver, and there's a pole right here. I grabbed it to brace myself. Driver stops the car up against the curb, and he turned around and he said, do I have anyone with a pink voucher on this bus? And I'm the only one out of all those people that raised my hand. I do. He said, ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to let you off. He said, we don't have rooms for pink vouchers. I said, sir, you don't understand. I not only have a pink voucher, I have a reservation and a confirmation number. He said, you have a reservation and a confirmation? I said, I do. He said, well, just a minute. And he picks up his little walkie-talkie and goes, she's got a reservation and a confirmation on her pink voucher. And here's what I hear come through. I don't care. Drop her off. He turns around and he said, ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to leave you here at the terminal. And I said, well, and I stood up. I said, you know, let me start with this. I know this isn't your fault. That's number one. Number two, here's how this is going to go down. I'm a single woman. It is now going on 1 a.m. I'm traveling at night in Chicago on a stormy, dark night. You are not dropping me at a curb. I am not getting off the bus. You're going to need to take me to your hotel as planned, and your manager and I will talk together about what my options are for the evening. He gets in his seat, picks up his thing, and goes, she won't get off the bus. Takes me to the hotel. Now, when I got off the hotel, he must have called the manager. I was told to ask for Dave, he'd be the only man behind the desk. He must have called the manager, because as I came in, dripping with my raincoat and my bags, the manager looked out over all the heads, because there were lines of people trying to get into this hotel. He looked out and he looked at me and he went like this. I went. Now, why do I tell you that story? This man, this manager, could easily send his minions to do that job, because he didn't have to go face to face with a woman at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning in Chicago. Are you with me here? The minute that I said I would, and I wasn't even nasty, I said, I will talk to your manager, we will face to face discuss how I can move forward and what my options are tonight. He could not give me my room. Now, you know what? There were rooms. Here's what he said to me when I got there. He goes, you're not going to believe this. Like 2 minutes after I hung up the thing, he said, somebody canceled their reservation. I'm like, you know, yeah, right. That's exactly what happened, I'm sure. They had rooms, they just didn't want to let them go for $59 when they could get $250 rack. They had rooms. He could do that when he didn't have to face me. He couldn't do that when he had to go face to face with me. How many real estate transactions might we be losing because we are not going face to face with people, because it's harder for them to say no face to face than it is otherwise. It is harder. So let's put this together here.